So now we've looked at cognitive, sociocultural, and biological explanations. I wanted to end the biological with the biopsychosocial model. I know this falls into the determinants, but if students can discuss the BPS model, then this can be added to so many essay questions in so many different ways. And also it's just a key understanding, right, that stress is not just our environment or our biology or the way we think, it's a combination of all three. Really, there's not much to say about the BPS model, to be honest. Students can summarize it in, here, what do they think it is? And they're probably going to get it right. It's that stress is caused by the three factors. So really, we're looking at the BPS model of challenge and threat. And if you remember back to Jameson's study, that's what that was really about. And so we can talk about the BPS model and how that's been adapted and applied to stress, particularly with the challenge and threat model. And then that shows how the way that we appraise stresses will have differences in our stress response. And so the appraisal is the psychological part of it, the stress response is the biological part of it, and the social is, the stressor that we're appraising as well. This is a new game that I've added to these to this teacher support pack. We haven't put it before. There's a demo here. Really fun. If you've got a large class, it could be a little bit tricky. So it'd be interested to hear how you can adapt it, because only really like 3 kids can play at a time, unless you make it a race. But anyway, it's a fun game, and there are slides in the activities files. All right, now here's space in the workbooks for students to see. We've already covered these determinants, dispositional, health beliefs, and risk and protective factors already, and so hopefully they can find how they've already covered these things. And we have the BPS model. I like this. Take a guess. They know it, and then just get them to put it in their own words. They know what the BPS model is, so can they put it into their own words? Bit of chalk and talk, some background context, real simple. Okay, so you've got these. And then the expressive suppression stuff here is for the study, today's study, Collier and Noft 2020, comparing these two different strategies, which one was more effective. Now, there's a lot in this lesson, just so you know. And I think I even put a tip down here. If students, and the tip down the bottom, if you want students to be prepared for the determinants of health topic, I would probably recommend dividing this biopsychosocial model into 2 lessons. Because when we look at the health psychology overview, health problems we've covered, and we're about to cover with prevalence, that's the health problems, these explanations and prevalence also covers risk and protective and dispositional factors and health beliefs. The biopsychosocial model, they want to be really, really well drilled in answering a whole essay on that. And so that's why you might want to do this across 2 lessons if you are preparing students for the exams. And again, I don't recommend promoting health for the exams. Why would you, when these are so much easier and more straightforward? And the problem with the promoting health is the link to the approaches biological, cognitive, social, cultural. In the last exams, they asked students about the social cultural approach to promoting health. What those kinds of studies would look like, and how you do that across all the others is just really tricky. Anyway, there's chalk and talk here. There's also the video explanations. It's all in the book. And then can they draw a diagram? All right, and then we have the BPS model, more information here as well. Okay, this is a pretty, I really like, the one reason I put the BPS model of challenge and threat is it's so relevant for students, and I think it's such a valuable lesson. So while it might be confusing, they might not end up preparing it for the exams, I really want students to learn about this, how they think about stress, and if they can have a challenge appraisal which leads to a challenge response and a better physiological response, can be so good for their health, mental and physical. Okay, now I put this slide in here just because this can be the BPS model. How does it explain stress? It can be pretty tricky to answer, so the answers are pretty much on this slide here. All right, okay, and then again, I've just said here, it's okay, this will be revised later in the unit as well. All right, so that's the end of the biological, and then we'll finish off with the prevalence rates.